Yo, 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 what's up, everybody? It's your boy King Bean, and I'm back. And welcome to another episode of King Bean's Court, starring your boy King Bean. And this is part two in the series, Learning from Your Mistake. From the series that I'm going with is Teamwork Makes the Dream Work. Now, full disclosure right now, I just got a new editing software, which is the Powerdirector 13, and this is apropos video for learning from your mistakes. I am making a ton of mistakes in this editing video. It's not like I was an editing god in Windows Live Movie Maker, but my God, Windows Live Movie Maker is super simple, especially compared to this right here. This is a huge step up, a huge learning curve. So the past few days, I've been putting in mad hours, sitting there, reading up on it, watching videos on YouTube, also practicing. So I did the best I could with this editing video, but I love this video software because it has so many different options, and so it's one of these editing softwares I think that I have for a long time that I won't have to keep changing to upgrade. So anyway, back to the subject at hand: learning from your mistakes. So one of the first things that you got to do when you're learning from your mistakes is admit that you made a mistake and don't be afraid of it. As they like to say, man up. Or if you're a female, woman up. Understand that you will make mistakes. It's gonna happen. Everybody does it. But the key is always learning from your mistakes and not repeating the same mistake over and over again. There's one thing to say about being, having perseverance, but there's another thing saying just don't be stupid. That's that old saying, if you keep doing the same thing over and over again, you think you're going to get a different result, then you must be insane. And I'm just paraphrasing that. I know I didn't quote it exactly, but understand that it's okay to make mistakes. You can't be afraid to make any mistakes because, hey, a lot of the great inventions that we have today, they wouldn't have been made if people didn't make mistakes. So that's where, when you have more of a team, of a good quality team. So when you make a mistake, they're able to pick you up or give you some pointers or give you some ideas to help fix that mistake. And that's why it's key to have quality people in your life and quality teammates on your team, or whatever, if you play in sports or you at the workplace, or even in your just your personal life. It's good to have good people on your team to help point you out on your mistakes. But you cannot be afraid to admit that you made a mistake, and you got to own up to it. That's one of the biggest things that a lot of people do, including myself, is don't really want to own up to some mistakes that you make. And it's hard to take criticism, because now, my God, if somebody criticizes you, the first thing people say, hey man, they hating on me. Dog, they just hating on me. Not everybody's hating on you, man. There are some people who are hating on you, but a lot of them, they're not hating on you. Some of them aren't hating on you. They're just criticizing what you did. They may not say it in the most flattering way, which can get your feelings hurt. You get caught up in your feelings, and then you're like, screw them. I ain't going to listen to them. I'm going to do it my way. I'm going to keep banging my head against this wall. I don't care what nobody says. That's what I'm going to do. Word up. But you got to understand, the closer people that you have in your life, sometimes it's good for them to critique you, so you can learn, so you can build, and so you can grow, so you become better. As myself personally, I personally will tell you that I hate to be criticized for the stuff that I do. But after I calm down and cool out for a minute, sometimes I realize, yeah, I was wrong, and I need to make some changes, and I have to do it, swiftly, so I can become better at whatever I do. But again, like I said, it's good to have quality people in your life to help you out when you do make a mistake. So when you sit down and you're analyzing the mistake that you make, go over in your mind and think through it again, think through it 2 or 3 times, and wonder, why did you make that mistake? Well, why didn't you close that deal on that sale? Or was it your opening? Were you giving too much information? Were you giving too little information? Or things of that nature. Anything like that, you want to try to get some feedback. So that's why I asked for you guys to comment on the comment section. Give me some feedback on something that I need to do to get better, to make this YouTube channel grow and become more prosperous. Because right now, I know I'm still in a learning curve. I'm just a babe in the woods. I know I'm working on my commentary. I got to work on the video editing part. I got to work on a lot of things, and I'm not afraid to say, hey, I need help, or anything like that, because I am looking to build a team, because this is a lot bigger than what I thought it was. And for my vision for this channel, and not only just for personal reasons, I need a team to do it. I need a quality team. So I'm gonna start recruiting some people and see what they can do. But again, just give me some feedback. I appreciate it, man. You know, constructive criticism, nothing too crazy. Don't go ham on me, man, because I might snap back, and I don't want to snap back. But anyway, so back at this subject that I was talking about. And again, in the background, I just wanted to let you know that you're playing. I'm playing against the Cleveland Cavaliers. I'm playing with the Golden State Warriors. And again, I thought this was more appropriate to have these two teams because they were just in the finals. And again, with teamwork, that makes the dream work. I'm playing with the Golden State Warriors, and they did win the NBA Finals. They did win the championship over LeBron James and his Cavs. And LeBron James was basically Superman trying to do it all by himself. Like I said in my previous video, and Golden State pretty much worked as a team. So when watching this and also thinking about what I've been saying, LeBron James, they had a lot of turnovers in the game if you watch the game. So those turnovers, if you're not basketball literate, that's basically a mistake, an extra possession for Golden State. Golden State, and a lot of times LeBron team and the Cavaliers, they hung their head. They was looking like, oh God, I made another mistake. They didn't have any kind of willpower to really keep overcoming their mistakes. And also they didn't learn what Golden State was doing at the time to stop them from forcing them to make these mistakes, to get into these turnovers, so they can get extra possessions and have an opportunity to score more points. And ultimately, what ended up happening, they ended up winning the game. Golden State, for instance, they in game, I think it was game 3, or game 4. It was game 3, I think, when they lost that game. But what they did was in game 3, if you watch the game, they were getting beat by 20. They came back in the fourth quarter and almost won that game. At that point in time, when Steve Kerr called a timeout, he told them they just wasn't playing hard enough, and that was their biggest mistake that they were doing. They weren't playing hard enough. They didn't want it bad enough. They didn't want the championship as bad as the Cleveland Cavaliers wanted it at the time. So once Steve Kerr said that, although they lost that game, it changed the whole dynamic of the whole series. Because after that, Golden State didn't lose any other games. They won the last 3 straight games. So they ended up winning. Yeah, they ended up winning 4 games to 2 in the NBA Finals. But again, sometimes even when you make a mistake and you do make that adjustment, once you made that mistake, you may not win initially. But see, when you go forward in the future and that same problem arises again, you're going to be able to overcome. So which that's going to make you, your team, a whole lot better. And not only that, that'll give you one step closer to reaching whatever goal or whatever milestone that you want to have in your life. That is something to really think about. So you can't get down on yourself for these mistakes. You got to be willing to admit it. You got to be willing to adjust. You got to be willing to learn. You got to be willing to grow from mistakes, because everybody's going to make mistakes. You're going to keep making mistakes. I'm going to continue to make mistakes. But the key is to grow from the mistake and to grow, to learn, to become better at whatever goal that you want to do. But again, you cannot be afraid to make the mistake, because if you're afraid to make the mistake, then guess what? You're not going to have an opportunity to go forth and do something great. To be something great, if that's what you want to be. Now, if you don't, that's up to you. That's all on you. Everybody have their own individual path. Everybody have their own individual way of thinking. And another thing too, I just thought about it. It just came to my mind. I guess I should have wrote it down, but I didn't. Another thing is you can't blame everybody for your mistakes. You can't blame it. That's why I say you got to be accountable for your mistake. That's why I say you got to man up, you got to woman up, but you got to be held accountable for your mistakes. As long as you continuously to blame somebody else for something that you're doing, something that you're in control of, you're never going to grow. You're always going to be in that same space. You're going to always be there. It's always going to be somebody else's fault. It's going to be somebody's fault why you didn't succeed. It's always going to be somebody's fault why you failed. That coach didn't like me back in high school. That's why I didn't make it to the pros. And that's a true story about me. I should have been a pro. I should have been in the NBA right now. I should have been retiring right now. Right now, I should have been retiring, going out as the greatest basketball player in the world. I'm telling you that right now. No, I'm just kidding. Look, I knew early on in my basketball career that I wasn't going pro, and I have to tell you that story another time later. But you can't let things hold you back. You just can't let them hold you back. And I'm learning that lesson too. I let a lot of things personally hold me back because I was afraid, because I went out and I made mistakes, and I was afraid that I was going to always continuously be a failure, you know. And so it stunted my growth for the most part. It really did. And now later on in life now, I'm trying to overcome that. And that's one of the hardest part of learning from mistakes is overcoming the objections from making mistakes, or somebody telling you you're not good enough, or somebody not agreeing with what you say, or somebody not particularly liking the product that you're putting out or the product that you're selling. I mean, this stuff, what I'm telling you, you can use this in any kind of scenario that you have. And sometimes it's good just to hear somebody tell you this, that you can overcome this and you can become better and you can learn from anything that you do. You know, I mean, Jay-Z has a saying when he said, I can't lose. I never lose, because even in losing, there's a lesson for me. You see what I'm saying? So he always wins. So if you're a fan of Jay-Z, you understand what I'm saying. If you're not, then still you better feel what I'm saying. Don't hate what the guy who said it. Just understand what the meaning of it behind it is. Wow, I'm getting all choked up. It's getting so emotional right now. Getting so emotional. So anyway, you know, I'm in closing, about to close it out because I really don't have anything else to say. But I still got some more game footage that's showing up here, and it's a pretty good game that's going on. I thought you guys would probably like the gameplay in the background, even if you don't play NBA 2K15. It's been a competitive game, and part three will be the culmination of everything. And when I go over stuff about leadership, so but just to recap real quick, again, this is a series on teamwork that makes the dream work. You know, we getting here today, like we said, we're learning from our mistakes. You know, leadership is very important. Accountability is very important. These are things that I will talk about again in the future. So, you guys, I hope that you're enjoying this. I hope you're enjoying the ride. Like I said, I know I got a lot of work to do on these videos. I got to become better, and I'm working on becoming better. And I'm going to bring a better product to you, I promise you. So you guys also continue to find something that you want to do in life that you failed at, that you maybe want to try again. Don't be afraid to try it. Just go ahead and try it. I see a bunch of my friends. One of my friends, his name Leon. He's a rapper. Dude is awesome. He got his own hit cave, what do you call it? He's Mad Child. If you find him on YouTube, he's really good. He's a young man that was in the Navy. He's got his own rap thing going, and he's a self-made businessman. And it's a guy I went to school with, and I love him. And I'm trying to follow in his footsteps. And another guy named Frank Murphy. He's doing the same thing. He's got his own thing going. So if they can do it, I believe that I can do it. And if I believe I can do it, you should believe that you can do it. Whatever you want to do, you can do it. Again, like I said, just don't be afraid to make the mistakes. Just always think and always remember that you're going to make the mistakes. It's part of the learning curve. Even though when you make the mistake, seek out a way to get the answer so you can fix that mistake and keep moving and keep learning and keep growing. And pretty soon you're going to be able to get it, and it's going to get better and better. You're going to get more awesome and more awesome. Then once you get more awesome, what you did 5 years ago, you're going to see yourself 5 years later at a whole new level, and you're going to be so freaking awesome. You're going to be thankful for the hard times that you went through in doing it. So, in closing, it's your boy King Bean, and I'm signing out. This is part 2. Stay tuned for part 3. I'll let you dudes later. One love. Peace.